Tivoli is one of the symbols of the Italian Renaissance, an architectural and scenographic jewel located a few kilometers from Rome in a green and lush area. This is a unique complex of its kind that for centuries has amazed artists, prelates, and illustrious personalities who have come to visit from all over Italy and the world. Built at the foot of the Tiburtini Mountains, at the gates of the ancient Roman city of Tibur, Villa d'Este is linked to a whim of Cardinal Ippolito II d'Este, governor of Tivoli since 1550. Disappointed at not being elected pope, the cardinal took inspiration from another historic villa in Tivoli, Villa Adriana, and revived the splendor of the Ferrarese, Roman and French courts in this Renaissance villa. The villa, reachable in less than an hour from Rome and a few minutes from the center of Tivoli, is located a few kilometers from the other two villas in Tivoli, Villa Adriana and Villa Gregoriana. The history of Villa d'Este is linked to the figure of Ippolito II d'Este, son of Duke Alfonso I d'Este and Lucrezia Borgia. Accustomed to the splendor of the Ferrarese, Roman and French courts, Ippolito II d'Este did everything he could to be elected pope, but after being nominated pontiff by Julius III, he was appointed governor for life of Tivoli by the latter. When he arrived in the city, he realized that the pomp he loved to surround himself with would remain a memory of the past. The heir of the d'Este family decided to console himself by commissioning the architect Piero Ligorio to build the wonderful Villa d'Este, full of fountains, grottos, and water features, thus creating his own personal paradise. The construction of the villa continued even after Ippolito's death. Villa d'Este is one of the excellent examples of Renaissance culture at its apogee, a masterpiece of the Italian garden with an impressive concentration of fountains, nymphaeums, grottos, water games, and hydraulic music. For these reasons, in 2001, UNESCO included Villa d'Este among the World Heritage Sites, also recognizing how the Baroque and Renaissance architecture of the complex managed to profoundly influence the development and design of gardens throughout Europe. Villa d'Este is truly a magical place, famous throughout the world for its enormous garden full of fountains and water features that will accompany you throughout the visit. From the entrance to the site, you will be catapulted into a treasure chest of rare beauty full of meanings and allegories. Ippolito II d'Este had declared that he would bring Rome to Tivoli, and so it was. The large Fontana del Lavado, among the most famous of the complex, is also known as the Fountain of Tivoli and represents the three rivers that originate from the Tiburtini Mountains, the Aniene, the Erculaneo, and the Albuneo. The three waterways continue on three different levels along the majestic Viale delle Cento Fontane, where 100 fountains composed of obelisks, eagles, and lilies will lead you to the Fontana della Romata. Just as the three rivers flow into the Tiber, the three waterways end in this fountain in Rome that recalls the 7 hills of the capital seen from Trastevere. The megalomania of Ippolito II d'Este did not stop there. Among the fountains of Villa d'Este, there is the particular Fountain of the Dragons, which houses 4 statues of dragons spitting water upwards in the center, and the Fountain of Pegasus, dominated by a large statue of the mythological winged horse. The Fountain of the Big Glass dates back to a century after the construction of the villa. Commissioned to Gian Lorenzo Bernini around 1660, it is composed of a large chalice placed inside a shell, an image similar to another great work by Bernini, the Triton Fountain in Rome. What will amaze you even more will be the Fountain of the Organ, made with a complex hydraulic system that allowed you to listen to the musical motifs reproduced by the flow of water. Characterized by a Baroque taste that distances itself from the Renaissance style of the villa, this fountain was commissioned at the end of the 16th century by Cardinal Alessandro d'Este.